Okay, so it's time for this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. And if you watched the last episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, we looked at the role that the lawyer plays if you are buying a property. And so obviously this week it makes sense that we do an episode where we're talking about what the lawyer's roles and obligations are when you're selling property. So welcome to episode number 173 of 2 Minute Tuesday, where we dig into the legals once again. Okay, so if you are selling a property in Spain, the chances are that you used a lawyer when you were buying a property. And since you purchased the property, it could have been 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, lots of the rules and the documentation required have changed. And it may be that some of the documentation that you obtained when you purchased the property has now expired, because some documents have sort of a 10-year lifespan on them. So one of the first rules, or one of the first jobs that your lawyer will do, is a sort of a due diligence. So they will in the first instance, your estate agent, when they come and list the property for sale, will ask you to look at the documentation, and they will probably flag some areas where attention is needed and point you in the direction of your lawyer. And so when you go to your lawyer, they will actually again look at the documentation. They will tell you exactly what needs doing, how it needs to be done, how long it's going to take to do it, and most importantly, what it's going to cost to do it. So the first thing that your lawyer does for you is sort of a due diligence to make sure all your documentation is correct. And it's done to the standard that will be required by the buyer's lawyer, so that when a potential buyer is found, that there won't be any hiccups paperwork-wise, because either the work has been undertaken or it's in the process of being undertaken. And that will seriously reduce the stress of finding a buyer and then keeping the buyers happy. The second point is about contract preparation. Now, it's the norm for the buyer's lawyer to prepare the reservation contract. And this is the document that outlines the property itself, the people involved in the transaction, the amounts involved in the transaction, any particular documentation that's required, or any clauses that are specific to the sale of that property. And that document is prepared by the buyer's lawyer. However, your lawyer will then check the document to make sure that it is correct and fair for both parties. It's normal that the document will be prepared, the legal language will be in Spanish. However, there should be a translation of each of the sections of the contract in your language and in the language of the buyer of the property. So it's not unusual to see a contract in 3 languages, and it's quite a long document then. The next point that we have is sort of dealing with the buyer's lawyer. Now, we've had instances before where people have decided they're going to represent themselves when they're selling the property, and that's fine. You know, it's going to save you €1,000 or so by doing it yourself. However, the buyer's lawyer is going to make you jump through hoops, and they're going to make you get every single document that they can possibly get at your expense. And really, by employing the services of a lawyer, you are making sure that you're providing what is required in order to sell the property, that no one's going to take advantage of you. And also, your lawyer is sort of your insurance policy, that all of the figures are going to add up at the end, and that you're going to receive exactly what you expect to receive at the end of the transaction. So when you go to the notary, the money that will be transferred into your bank account is the money that you are expecting. Number 4 that we've got is ensuring that all of the taxes and fees are paid. So when you sell your property, on the day that you sell it, everything needs to be zeroed. So in reality, the water bills, the electricity, the council tax, if you have a basura or a sewage tax, everything needs to be paid and up to date. If there is a mortgage, that the mortgage is settled prior to completion. It doesn't mean you need to pay it off. It means that the funds can come from the proceeds of the sale, but everything needs to be zero, so that the new owner, when they buy the house, have no obligations with regards to any costs. So your lawyer will do that in collaboration with the buyer's lawyer. And then also we have the lights flash. We have the completion process. And the completion process, the lawyer will go with you to the notary, or you can give the lawyer power of attorney. If you don't know what that is, we've done videos on it in the past, so look them up on our website. But the lawyer will go with you to the notary and represent you at the notary, so that realistically all you need to do is when the notary passes the contract to you, or the final deed to you, that you need to sign the back page of it. And obviously if you give the lawyer power of attorney, they will do this on your behalf, so you don't even need to be there. And they will make sure that all the payments go through and that everything is correct on the day. And that really is it. That's the main things that your lawyer will do for you when you are selling your property. If you've got any questions about this and need any clarification, or you need details on a lawyer, then please feel free to drop me a line, and I'll be more than happy to help. Our next episode will be along in a couple of weeks. My details should be on the screen now, so if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact me. But all that remains for the time being is to wish you a great day. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you for the next episode of 2 Minute Tuesday very shortly. Until then, adios.